Welcome everyone to our presentation on our newly released CommuniBee Suite. We've got a lot to cover in this 1 hour, so we try to cram a lot of things in here. So we'll just get started, and we're going to record this as well. So we'll send an email, recording of this email back to you guys after the meeting, and it'll also be posted online. And we'll have a Q&A session at the end where you can put your questions in the chat as we go along the presentation. And at the end, we'll go through those first, and then we'll open up the mic. And if anyone has any follow-up questions or that sort of thing, happy to have a conversation. Chats, chat works, but if we can open up the mics, and we'll just get people to put up their hand, pressing the little hand gesture there, and then we'll go to you, and you can ask your question. We'll try to answer it as best we can. So we'll just get started here. Okay, so introduction. So my name's Graham Murray. I'll be presenting today along with my co-presenter, Ross Murray. So he's here to help and answer questions. He knows a lot about the product and details, and so he'll be helpful with me. We'll go through the current challenges with the community, with what community leagues experience and other customers of ours experience. So we just want to kind of highlight some of the challenges that we see and we hear, just to kind of base set the this meeting today, as well as we'll walk through the CommuniBee app. So we'll walk through the front end, and then we'll show the back end as well, the admin panel, just so you can get a sense of what it looks like. So we'll spend most of the time on that. Then we'll also highlight some roadmap items that we're planning to do in 2024, as well as some implementation options for folks to consider. We'll highlight some of our pricing options, talk about next steps, and then go to the Q&A session at the end. So I'll just get started here. So just some of the challenges. So we see websites, and some are really good, some are maybe needs a little bit of love. So just are you happy with your website as it is today, or could it be improved? Do you feel that member engagement also could be improved? Is having content available in multiple languages, is that important to you and your community? Do you have difficulties managing your community's funds? As well, do you wish that event management could be improved and easier to do for your volunteers and your administrators? Do you want to fundraise throughout the year? Do you wish you could sell merchandise online? And do you want a better way to manage your facilities? And what if you can do all this and more with just one system, instead of having disparate systems for this function and this feature and that sort of thing? So would you prefer something like a one-stop shop type system? So I'd like to introduce you to the new and improved CommuniBee Suite, we're calling it. So it's not just an app like our original version was back when we built it in 2018. So this is a full suite. And basically what CommuniBee is, the suite, it's an engagement app providing a centralized one-stop solution for your organization to manage and promote your programs, services, events, marketplace, and fundraising, and a ton more, to be honest. But it's basically a one-stop that's trying to cover off many of these features that, as mentioned earlier, exist in a lot of disparate solutions today, like Excel spreadsheets on your website, and different other solutions like Eventbrite, MailChimp, SurveyMonkey, and you can just go on and on with all the different systems that one organization would need in order to quote unquote get the job done. So just to kind of buzz through some of the features that we have here. So there's 4 slides here, and I'm not going to go into a ton of detail because we're actually going to show you all of these, as many as that we have built. There's a few that are coming soon this year, but we'll go through these in the presentation, in the live demo of the app. So we've got some, these features are really helping you to raise more funds for your organization, for your community league association. So fundraising is a big part of lots of organizations, and so we've really got 2 great products at a minimum, and really it's our online auction app, BidBeacon, and our Raffle Rocket 50/50 raffle solution. But we also have additional fundraising features, capabilities inside the CommuniBee app. So those are integrated now with CommuniBee. So you have those as integrated solutions versus disparate solutions, as you may have used these or others, some of our competitors in the past. We have e-commerce, so full online store, so you can sell things, make some fun, make some revenue for your organization. Events and programs, so all of that, all online, all, you can sell tickets, receive those funds, et cetera, and then membership management is coming. That'll be this year, probably by May, June. And then helping you stay organized. So there's a bunch of team management features that we want to put into the app around volunteer management, donor management, and that sort of thing. We have document and directory capability inside the app right now, where you can upload documents, make them available to your organization, your members, residents, as well as a full website management capability. And we'll show you this in more detail, but basically you have options to either replace your current website with the CommuniBee Suite, which is also acts like an app, and we'll show you how it looks on a smartphone or a tablet, as well as a website. So you really don't need to have a website and an app anymore if you choose not to. But if you like your website, you can fully keep that, and we can integrate to it, no problem. Lots of reporting and analytic capabilities. So we'll show you some of that in our dashboard. And then reaching your audience. There's a whole bunch of capabilities that we have in the solution now, and more that are coming. So having the ability to put in news posts, blogs, that sort of thing, and announcing those, email marketing capabilities. You can get all of the things that are inside of the solution. You can promote out to your members and residents, as well as content targeting. So your members can basically choose how to organize what they are interested in. So if they're interested in kind of like painting and arts kind of stuff, but not necessarily into yoga, they can filter out those kinds of activities. So they'll only see things that they kind of care about. And then multilingual, that's a bit of a game-changing option that we have in the app now, with over 120 languages that can be easily selected. So you put all your content in English, as an example, and it can convert it to any of these other languages, and we'll show you that. If I forget, remind me, because it's up at the top right corner of the app. So also remind me, I'm sure. So then boosting engagement. So there's surveys that are coming, and communication capabilities, so you can push notifications out to your members, residents, as well as integrated support and AI. We're putting in we have some artificial intelligence capabilities in there today. For example, we have integrated OpenAI into the creation of images. So if you're creating a news article and you're having a hard time finding a really good image that fits, you can just use the AI component that's right there, and it'll create an image for you. If you like it, you can just save it and use it. If you don't, try again, kind of thing. So it's a nascent technology that's out there now. It's only been around for about a year plus now, available to the public. So, but it works pretty cool. And so what I'll do now is I'll just go into the live demo of the solution, and then we'll just go from there. So I'll just bring in the solution. So this is basically a sample of what the CommuniBee Suite can do in the context of a community league or a community association type of a solution. So this is a demo name called Mosaic Meadows Community League, and this is the main page. This is the hero image. You can have a hero message as well. And you can have up to 5 images scrolling through here as well. So I just have one here for now, but there's an image. All of this is AI generated, so these aren't they're real pictures, but they're not. They're basically AI generated. So just to show you, actually everything in this solution is AI generated. So some of them they look pretty good for the most part, but it saves you a ton of time once you learn how to use these command prompts. From hunting and pecking over Google Images and looking for things that are free and all of that sort of thing. So so the AI capability is pretty cool, and you can get some really nice images. Okay, so there's the hero image, and then this entire app is fully configurable, so you can organize this main page or any of these other pages however you want. So what I've done here is I've created a little block, and also you'll notice on the side here, edit block and edit header. That's because I'm logged in as administrator. So a really nice feature of the solution is if you're out and about and you notice a spelling mistake, or you want to go and edit something, or if you're not sure exactly, you want to get to this area quickly, you just click on edit block. It takes you exactly to the location in the back end of the solution, and you can go and make that change, hit save, and then you're back up and running with the new change. So that's just a nice feature. So just ignore that. Your residents won't see this edit header or anything, but it's just a nice feature that we put in there for you guys. So upcoming events. So this, this is just a section that exists. These items exist under the event section that I'll show you in a moment, but this will just highlight the first three, and you can click see all, and it'll show you all the events that are there. So this is February. These are all the different events, and you can color code all these depending on your category. So that's all available to you. So clicking on, say, yoga class, it'll show you, some image. You can have up to 5 images here. I think I just have 2 that'll scroll through, and any kind of description, when the event is, and if you're selling tickets, you can allow these to be bought online. So you go and you change this, buy tickets. It's just like any kind of store. Once you say go to the store, it'll pop up a modal for you to enter in your credit card, or your resident to enter the credit card, buy the tickets. They get emailed receipt. They know that they bought the tickets, and as well that they bought the tickets. There's on the back end dashboard for every element of this solution, such as events. You can track this event, the yoga beginner class. You can see how many people are registered, who's all paid, and that sort of thing. So that's in the back end. So then that's events, and then this area here is just other interesting things that you want to highlight on your main page. And these could be, again, anything that already exists in your application, in the CommuniBee Suite application. So I have contact us exists somewhere else under about us. But I just thought, okay, contact us main page, let's show that. So there's contact us, and just a quick example of how you can do it. There's so many different ways you can organize this. This is just the way we chose to do it for this demo, as well as you can have your raffle or things like an online silent auction. So these are using our 2 products here, our Raffle Rocket product, as well as our online silent auction product, Bid Beacon. These products have been around for, I guess, Raffle Rocket around 2 years, and Bid Beacon around since 2018, 17. These apps are being sold, licenses of them sold worldwide, used by charity fundraising organizations all over the world. Australia, England, mostly North America is where the business comes from, but we've had sales in other countries as well. So let's quickly go in and show you what this could look like. So this, again, you can configure it any which way you would like. So there's your purchase details, an image. You can have a number of images. You go purchase tickets. This will take you now to Raffle Rocket. So you can see I've gone to Raffle Rocket, but it's a seamless connection in there. And then you can go buy tickets. And if you've seen raffles, if you've purchased tickets with Oilers online, that sort of thing, it's very similar. It's virtually the same as the Oilers one. And folks can buy tickets, and away they go. So that's the raffle one, and I'll just quickly show you the auction one. So this takes you to join the auction. Again, same kind of a format. You click join auction. Now it'll take you over to Bid Beacon, which is then you can enter the auction, and you have a goal, all the details. You can start bidding on stuff, however the auction is set up. So that's those ones. So that's really the main page, and at the bottom there's a footer, a standard footer, and you can have details there, and you can also have links to all your social media pages, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc., Instagram. So I'll just leave there. So this is the home page, and then I'll just go into, and again, I've been familiar with community leagues for quite a number of years. So I just refreshed my memory with various community leagues samples, and I just kind of pulled in kind of some of the commonality. So, under About Us, there's things, and again, these are fully configurable. You can rename these, you can create new ones, you can get rid of these, however you want to do it. So our community, just a little maybe history about your community that you might want to do. And you can add more details here. You can add more blocks if you want, more images, that sort of thing. Contact us. So we already saw that one. The board. So a lot of community leagues have boards, so you may want to showcase your board out to your members. You may or may not want to put the email there, but you can if you would like. Membership. So this one here is coming. But right now there's member benefits. You want to highlight all the cool reasons why to purchase a membership for you or your family. And basically it would be similar to this. It would be like a product where you just press a button, purchase. Up comes a modal that'll say, do you want to purchase a single, family, or senior, and credit card entered, and then you get your digital card and a receipt for all of that. So that's coming, but that's how membership would work, as well as and then these are the resources that we were talking about earlier. So here you can upload various documents, and these are just sample documents. So AGM 2023. So this is last year's. So this is a sample PDF. It could be essentially the exact PDF of your AGM from last year, and then you just have all the history there if you want, or you can have other resources. You can have minutes of meetings. You can have rules and procedures and policies, and you name it. Any kind of document, you just save it as a PDF and upload it and give it a name, and away you go. This area, what's called resources, is a common architecture throughout the solution. So you can include resources in various places, as well as these could also be links to important areas. Like so if you wanted to link to, I don't know, the City of Edmonton website, or those kinds of things, you can put whatever you want. So a resource can either be a document or a link. So that's kind of about us that was created here to show you. And then back to the question, do you want to kind of fundraise year round that I asked earlier? So this is a capability that you can set up with the app. So we call it Donate Now. You can call this, any of these things could be named to whatever you want to call them. So I just called it Donate Now. So you have some story about what you're raising funds for. Maybe it's a family, maybe it's a building, or spray park or something. And I got a fundraiser 2024 we'll get to, which is the spray park campaign that I created. And then people can just quick donate an amount, or they can enter in their own amount, hit donate, up comes credit card modal, and they can enter all that detail, and they get a receipt for that. What we're planning this year is to include those kinds of receipts to distinguish between that receipt and buying a good, like from the store, or a ticket to an event. We want to distinguish these receipts as being CRA or tax CRA approved, so that you can submit it to with your annual tax return. So that's coming as well. So it'll be, it'll have any of the details required by the federal government, as well as, we build it for the US and other jurisdictions as well. So that's Donate Now, and moving on to news. So this is basically news, different things you want to highlight to your residents. So again, the hero image for this, and sizing of this is fully flexible. You can go down to 10%. I think I have this set at 50%. So depending on the image and how impactful you want it to be, you can make this larger or smaller, and that sort of thing. And then you can just have all what's happening. And this is the most current event first, or news item, I should say. And then you'll see history. So if you had, 50 news posts over time, you can show them. I guess I just have 3. You can go to different categories as well, so you can filter things. And then these could be also subcategorized if you want. So a news article related to activities, and another news article related to community announcements or something. So these could all be filterable as well, that you can set up. And I didn't do that for this. The other interesting thing that I noticed with community leagues and with other customers as well, but there seems to be a challenge when a news item is no longer a valid news item, or same with an event, and we'll get to events. So an event has kind of a start and an end date. After the event is over, you really don't want to highlight and showcase that event on your website anymore. With CommuniBee Suite, you can set an end date. You can basically have don't show any more date. It doesn't delete it from the system. It just doesn't show it anymore. So that's really good to to keep things clean. So you can always be posting events and posting news items and say, okay, post this one for a year or 6 months or 3 months in terms of a news item. But in terms of an event, you might want it to be gone, the day after the event is over, or maybe a week after. And conversely, what you can also do is the start date of a news post or an event you can set. So say you're planning, maybe your admin person that's doing your news posting is going on vacation for a month or something, and they want to kind of pre-post a bunch of news items just to come out one a week. That can be completely set up so that that person, or maybe they do community volunteer stuff once a week. So they on a Sunday they work on their 4 or 5 news posts and say, okay, I want this one coming out Monday, this one Friday, this one next week, this one whatever. And that's all saved and set up, and then they just appear on the date that you specified for them to appear, and then they also go away when you specify them to go away. So that's news. And sorry, I'll click on one to show you. So with news, you can have again your image across the top, and there's often options there. And then with your description about whatever the news is, you can have a link to some related information related to that news. You can add more block, more detail, more things here if you want. So this is fully configurable. And then I think I have one where it's on the side. Yeah, so there's another news post with an item on the side. This is just highlighting someone that finished first in the marathon or whatever. So just want to highlight a community member that won a gold medal or something. So that's news. Events, so I'll just jump over to that. Checking time. Okay, we're okay. So events is a very interesting and highly configurable area. So you can have events, you can set them up by category. So right now it defaults to everything. So it's showing you all events regardless of category. And so it's showing you community events, programs, and meetings. Those are the three categories that I've set up for this demo. Or you can, if you're interested, because you might have 4 or 5 or 8, per thing. So if someone just wants to come into programs and courses, they just click that and they just see programs and courses. And there are those. This one here is an online event. So, and you can say online in the title if you want. And so it's online because it shows instructions about this will be a URL. I just put our website there, but this is the URL to get to this this Zoom meeting or team meeting or whatever. That's the link to get onto there. And here there's an option. So there's 3 ways to do events. You can say things like this. It's just essentially an RSVP. You can sell tickets to an event. So, in order to attend the event, you need to purchase a ticket first, and then you can track. As well with this, you can track who's a yes, no, maybe. So you can go, okay, I know I got 5 or 10 or 20 people come to this online event, or it's an in-person event. Or you can just post events for awareness. So you don't have to get anyone to respond. It's just, here's when our AGM is, please attend if you can. And you don't have to get folks to respond to it. So that's kind of how events are set up. And so if I just go back and then if you want to see all events, so I have it set to showing all of these now. So if you show them in the calendar, it'll just take you to the current month, of course. And it shows you there's, Bridge Club and Bridge Club I've got set up as a weekly item, because I noticed that with some community leagues that they have things like this, the recurring events. So we got full of recurring events capability as well as the one-time events. And so this is a recurring event, and so you can purchase tickets for that. So this, I picked the wrong one. I picked the one yesterday, so I can't go to that one. So I can go to this one. So that's the 27th. So I can buy a ticket for that, and away I go. It shows you where it shows you, if there's instructions on how to get there. You've got to come in the front door, side door, whatever, and exactly where it's located. And any details around the Bridge Club. And so you can sell tickets, you put a maximum and all that kind of thing. So that's that kind of stuff. Pancake breakfast, I believe this one is, okay, I already bought tickets for this one, so I can go view my tickets if I want, that I purchased. So yeah, so there's, casino day trip, there's that one. So again, this one requires, because there's a bus involved, and so that's got to get paid for. So if you want to go on the casino day trip to say to the River Cree Casino, you can go buy tickets for that and show up and attend. Okay, so that's events. Lots of different options there. You know, everything's fully configurable how you want it. Even how many do you want to show at first? You can say I only want to show 2 per category. I want to show 3 per category, 4 in this case. I only have 3, so that's why it's only showing 3. And same with I only have 1. Here's an AGM event, and this one is just for awareness. So there's no let us know, or there's no tickets to buy. It's just please come to our AGM. Okay, so that's events. Moving on to hall rental, and I know this is a big item for many community leagues in the city and others. So again, this is just to showcase your hall and different images. And I believe, yeah, I've got 3 images that are scrolling through here that you'll see. Again, these are all AI generated, just to give you a sense of what you could put there. Obviously, you would put your images of your community in there. Again, resources. So here's documents that you'd have available so that folks could download and that sort of thing. When we add the signing feature, the forms feature, that's where people can download, or not download a document, but open a document, review the contract, and sign it online, and then it gets stored back into your environment, into your database, so that you have a signed contract, or as an example. So that's all coming, but right now you can just open up documents, as well as you can go to links. I think that's what this one here is. It's a recommended insurance provider. I noticed that in one, and I didn't put the link in properly. So there we go. So back to hall rental. And so then scrolling down, so you can have your instructions, you can have some details about the rules here, or maybe the rules are in a document over here. And then some layout options if you want. And you can see how this is multi-block, so you can just set this up however you want, different images. And what I did here was I showed the pricing, and there's really 2 options for pricing. So this is kind of I'll say the old school way. It kind of works. It's you add it to your website, and every time you want to make a change to it, you gotta go update your website and that sort of thing. And maybe it's annual changes or whatever. But you can do that, or you can also set it up as a an item in your store. So I put a button here just to show that. So this will take us to the store right now, and so now we're over here under store, which there's community gear and generally used items, but there's also hall rental pricing. And there's 2 categories of pricing: member prices and non-member prices. So it defaults to both of them because I clicked on the both. So you can see I have this set up to show the first 3, but there really is 4 for each of them. So under member pricing, you got the peak hours and peak, 3 hour, 7 hour, 7.5, and then off peak same. And you can have the details here and that sort of thing. You can't purchase this online. I know some leagues want to inject into the process so that they don't automatically approve hall rental for folks. They want to kind of validate it and that sort of thing, make sure that it's available and nothing's conflicting and that sort of thing. So this excuse me, just gives the instructions on what to do for this, and the pricing, of course. So two different ways to do your hall rental. We're adding more features and functionality to this because it'd be nice to have the calendar integrated and a few other the workflow feature we'd like to try and integrate. And I wouldn't mind working with a few community members that would help us define the requirements so that we can build it exactly to the community league needs. Because there's you guys know this business better than we do. So this basically takes you to a point, but it doesn't have the full workflow. It'd be nice if you had a workflow where pick the date, the form, they fill out a form with the date that they want, and they know it's available. Or it looks like it might be available. They hit submit, and then there's a back and forth workflow until it's approved and with payment online done. So that's being worked on, or sorry, planned for this year. So that's this button here. And again, this button also shows you a feature of you can have buttons throughout the system that takes you to other places and gets you to do certain things. So that's hall rental. Moving from there over to the store now, which we kind of showed already a little bit. We showed the hall rental part, but there's a few other categories. There's specials, and I haven't created any specials, so I can't really show you this. But basically, a special could be, and we're adding more special type features. capabilities, but the ones we have now are things like, buy one item, get the second at 50% off and that sort of thing. So there's some kind of basic e-commerce kind of marketplace stuff. So that's what specials would be. If there were specials, you'd click on it and it would show you the specials and kind of instruct you what you need to do in order to achieve the special rate kind of thing. So under these other two, and I won't go into hall rental, we've already done that. So under community gear, and not sure if the community leagues want to get into this sort of thing, but it's a way to make money, and if it makes sense, you can do these kinds of things. So if you got into community kind of gear kind of stuff, you can maybe sell water bottles. Well, I'll just maybe list them all here. So you got water bottles, you got ball caps, you got hoodies, you got tubes, whatever. And you can just, customers, your residents can, buy the cap of whatever your community. So this, could say Mosaic Meadows Community League. They can buy a hat or two and hit add, and away they go. And then they go pick up wherever the instructions are to go pick it up, that sort of thing. So you can basically set up a pretty good e-commerce site. Sure, it's not like, I don't know, what's the one, what's the Canadian one? Ross just left it to me there. Anyway, it's sorry,
Shopify.
Yeah, like Shopify. Yeah, like Shopify is like full blown. You want to create an online store, and it's I wouldn't say it's exactly like Shopify, but it offers some really good basic features to sell stuff online. If you had someone that was or a community business in your community that wanted to promote their cakes, or that maybe it's a pastry type thing, and maybe they give you guys a great discount and you can sell them online here for a fundraiser or something. You can set that fully up, and you kind of promote them as well, but they're kind of buying from your store and then getting them delivered. Maybe that bakery delivers them right to the customer. So that kind of thing. Gently use, this is just another example that I created. So, kids pool. So these are things that, maybe you may want to sell around the community to other members instead of, them just putting it on Kijiji or something, that sort of thing. So that's the store. And then sponsors. So we all, like to have sponsors. We have, folks that are sponsoring all kinds of organizations, including the community leagues. So you can have business sponsors. Again, these are fully configurable. So I just call these business community and our neighbors. So there's two different types of sponsors. So business community, just some sample, logos. Again, you highlight the sponsor and, maybe their website, where they're located in your community, or, wherever they're located. So, that's, and there's a whole bunch of capabilities around sponsors. There's tiers that you can set up. So you can set up your gold, silver, bronze tier. You can have, just a whole bunch of different ways to set this up and configure. So under business, you can have 3 tiers, or however you want to organize it. And here's the $2,000 a year tier. Here's the 1,000. Here's the 500 group, and thank them and do all that good stuff. So that's sponsors, and it works really good. And then finally, so then we'll go to the back end here. But so kind of the cap off the some of these capabilities that I've already shown you is what we call campaigns. And what a campaign does is it can group different fundraising elements into a larger thing. I call it the campaign, and this is the fundraiser 2024 for. You want to build a spray park, and maybe you want to build it in 2025, and you got to raise, in this case, we put $100,000, and right now you're at $9,100, and that this is all viewable by your residents, and so you're really being transparent about, where you're at in the goal. And so what it does is it pulls various elements that we've already kind of talked about. So here's a product, and you've seen that. So say you identify, okay, this product, all proceeds from sales of this product are going towards this campaign. All sales or proceeds from pancake breakfast are going to go to this campaign. Donate now is going to go to this campaign, and then we have an auction here and we have a demo here. So all of these things will contribute to this $100,000 goal. And there's been various things that have been bought, and you can see some numbers down here. And that's going to the $9,100, and I'll show you that on the dashboard. And so the beauty of this is not just having this capability of presenting to your community that you're raising funds for a spray park, and here's all the elements that are going to contribute to that. You can actually see and manage and see where each of them are in terms of donations and purchases and who's sponsored and that sort of thing. And that also highlights, you can have sponsors that are saying, maybe there's organizations like Alberta Blue Cross maybe donates 5,000 to your spray park, and so you can highlight Alberta Blue Cross and their kind donation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you can thank sponsors. And the great thing about a campaign is that it's not a point solution, like you're running one raffle or you're running one 50-50 or you're doing one event and it has a start and an end. This thing can set your window can be set however you want it, however long you want it. And then so saying in this case it's throughout this year. What you can do is you can have an auction in the spring and you can have an auction in the fall. And so those two auctions would be grouped into this campaign, and all those funds will be tracked individually as well as rolled up into all the auction proceeds. Same with 50-50, same with products. Say you have product A that you're selling right away, and then you got some other product that, some other idea that you go, oh, let's do that. Let's add that to the campaign. And then so you can just keep adding and taking away from the campaign throughout the year. Obviously, an auction will have a start and an end. So, that first auction might end in, say, March, but then you'll kick off another one, say, in September, and run that one for 30 days. So fundraising campaign is really, really cool, actually, and it gives a lot of features and a lot of capability to organizations that care about fundraising. So what I'll do is checking time. Okay, so I better get going here. So I'll go to the back end and just show you briefly the dashboard. And I'm not going to show you the whole dashboard because it's, we got videos and guides that can show you everything here, and we can go into detail if anyone wants some further help. But this is the main menu panel, and then I've clicked fundraising, which brings up this sub menu panel. And what I want to do is I want to look at just this one campaign. So clicking fundraising, clicking campaign will show me I have two campaigns, a test one and the spray park one. So I want to just view the spray park one because that's the one that we just showed you online on the website, on the app. So this is kind of overall, and you can see the total raised so far. This is getting fixed in the next mini release we got coming out in a few weeks. And then here's all your revenue from auctions, all your revenue from donations, events, products, raffle, sponsorships. So at a glance, you can see, what's come in the last 90 days for this, as well as, so this graph here will show you over 90 days. Here's all the different revenues that have come in per day or per week, depending. And then down here, you can see, okay, under donations, we created this donate spray park fund. So that one's generated $650. Here's the top donors. If you click on this guy here, it'll take you right to the donation, and it'll show you all the people that have donated, and it'll show you the top ones as well. So I'll just go to that quickly here. So this is the donate now specific dashboard item. So basically all the areas of this app has a dashboard which shows you some high level information. So there's everyone that's donated. Here's the top ones, here's the recent ones, and you can just export them as well, and you can do a bunch of things with this. But at a glance, again, you can see what's going on. So just going back here, so same with raffles. So as I mentioned, you might have a raffle in the spring or an auction in the spring and another one. So it'll just list them all here. It'll show you the total raised for each of those and that sort of thing. And then the sponsors, you can see that too. So that's basically the back end dashboard for a fundraising campaign. But this has many elements that kind of highlights all the areas of the solution. So I'll kind of stop right now and go back to the presentation, finish off the presentation, then we'll go to Q&A. Okay. Okay, so just a quick highlight, there's more things on our roadmap for 2024, but these are the top ones that we want to get in here as quick as possible. And like I suggested, it would be great to get some input from you folks. If there's folks that are interested, just let us know separately via an email or whatever. That's, hey, I'd like to. I've already talked to some other leagues, and they've offered to provide some input. So that it'd be great, because then you guys know a lot of this better than we do. So if you guys tell us, hey, this is how we do it. I know there's some uniqueness with EFCL and the digital cards and all that kind of stuff. So we want to really get it right with the first implementation of it. So, and I know we've done it in the past with the old CommuniBee app, but we want to take a closer look at this with you guys. So we're trying to get these things done: surveys, e-forms, and e-signatures. So that's all those agreement kind of things, and this is like fill out a form and submit a request. So all of that would be around the hall rental capability and that sort of thing. Today with social media integration. So when you create a news post, you just take that link and you can just go share it out easily to add it to Facebook and all that stuff. What we want to do in the future is we want to just have a button. So whenever you create a news post, you can just have some options of, okay, now share this, on all 4, or just these 2, or share it to none of them. And just once you click and select those ones, out it goes to all your social platforms instantly. So there's no more copying and pasting and resizing images and making them look better and nice. It'll know and organize that in the appropriate way. And there's a spelling mistake there. That's pretty good. So, and then more improvements that are coming as well. Okay, so implementation options. So I kind of highlighted this a little bit earlier. So there really are 2 options, and so option 1 is basically you adopt the CommuniBee Suite as your website and as your app. Oh, and I didn't show that. Okay, forgot to show that. Okay, so let's just quickly do this for you. So just hit, this is just our way of showing what it could look like. So this is the main, this is what it would look like on a iPhone SE. And so it's basically, it doesn't look any different than, what you would see from an app downloaded from the Apple or Android. Oh, and there's multilingual. I'll show you that too. I did forget. Okay, so up here, this is a Google widget that we've embedded. So their version of English is a US flag, but you can have all these different ones. So clicking on, say, Hindi as an example, it instantly changes everything to Hindi. Everything. Yeah, it's just amazing how it works. So for your community that maybe they can. Some folks can, speak English reasonably well, but reading is tough. So this makes it easier for, promoting inclusivity in your communities. So those are the 2 that I show you, and I forgot. I apologize for that. Okay, so so basically you can have your website and you can have your web app all in one. And there's ways where you can just add the web app, add the CommuniBee Suite as an icon, just like you would if you download it from the Apple Store. It'll look just like an icon on your smartphone. Click that, and it opens up the app. So it covers it off reasonably well, and it removes a lot of the complication and cost for us of having the solution as a website and also as an app in the stores. And yeah, then there's other challenges with that we can get into later. But basically, this is the option here so basically you have your content, you're entering it only once, and you're managing it in only one system. And and then ideally it's one location for all of your residents. So, other than your social platforms, that's, obviously you want to still do that wherever possible. But really there's a one-stop place for your residents to go to, and one-stop place for your admin volunteers to enter and manage events and news and all this stuff that I showed you. And it's all in one secure location. It's all in the cloud. We use DigitalOcean. They're a massive organization, just like Microsoft, but they're Canadian based. And we've been using them for about 6 or 7 years, and we've never had an issue, outage, slowdown, security breach, nothing. So we're really happy with that organization, and all the data is in Canada still, if that's a concern. And I know it is to some organizations, but And then, but the alternatively, what you can do is you can say, well, I really like our website. We just spent a lot of money on it. It's got everything we need pretty much, but it's, it's missing a few things. I really like this campaign idea. Our events isn't that great. So I'd like to use campaigns and events and maybe sponsors, or maybe we don't have a store and I want to add a marketplace. You can add all of those bits and pieces, those features to your existing website extremely easily. It's so you can basically maintain. So say you pulled over this marketplace, so you had a store you wanted to create and you didn't want to build it onto your website, because you probably could. You can probably hire some web developers and we'll do that for you. So you can just adopt the marketplace, set up a community in CommuniBee Suite, and just set up a marketplace, add all your products, add your categories, your prices and all that, and manage it all from there. And then just have the link attached to your website and you're off and running. You can have a marketplace up and running in a day, and you're good to go. Or sponsors, or if you like the news capability, or if you like any of these other things, if you're running an auction, you can add that to your website as well. So number 2 is an option, and number 1, either is fine with us. There's really no difference in pricing, so it's basically use any or all of CommuniBee as you want, and enjoy. So the downside with the option 2 is you got 2 systems that need to be maintained. You got your WordPress, your Wix or whatever, your website, and maybe you outsource that to another party because there's you don't have anyone with skills on knowing WordPress. WordPress is relatively easy, but it's for non-technical people it's maybe a little bit tough. So you might have to hire that out. Where with CommuniBee Suite, everything that I just showed you is super easy to add and maintain and update, and we've already had lots of folks get going with CommuniBee Suite, and they're like, oh, this is easy, I get this. And Ross has done a great job at creating all these videos and guides that just walk you through, and those guides, which I'll get to in a moment, which might be actually this next moment, no, not. They're all available online, so you can and they're all like 5-8 minute kind of very specific, how to add sponsors, or how to maintain news, or how to do this, how to do that, how to build a campaign. So and there's about 5 or 6 there today of videos, and we're just we're going in kind of priority order. So within 2 weeks you'll have about 5 or 10 more, and it's super easy once you take a look at the intro. 5-minute video, and it can show you enough to go, oh, okay, this isn't so bad. Okay, so pricing, quick check on time. So we gotta hurry here, sorry. Quick check on time. So we have different tiers for pricing. We have the no cost starter option, so there really is no fees at all, other than if you use e-commerce. Then there's the platform fee. So if, say, you run an auction or run a raffle or set up a store, all the e-commerce transactions will charge our platform fee is 4.9%, which is what we would charge. This table down here gives you an idea of when to choose to go up into the different levels. So if your e-commerce is say between 15 and 65,000 a year, then it may make, or actually it does make sense. We've done the math and we can show charts of that if you want, where it makes sense to go to foundation. It's cheaper to pay 149 a year if you're making this generating this much revenue, because your platform fee goes down by 1%. That's the real advantage of moving up the tiers, is that your platform fee goes down. So if you have a store, like we have a senior center that say generates $500,000 a year in online food program. Well, it makes sense for those guys to be kind of up in this range, up into enterprise, because they'll pay less than being over on the starter. We have a special right now under foundation. It's $1 for the first year. So I would highly recommend, if you even want to use subcomponents of CommuniBee, is to sign up for the $1, and you get 3.9 right off the hop. And this is just a bit of a scenario that, and again, you'll have access to all this, so you can take this away and analyze it in a bit more detail. So this is just a scenario. So if you ran an auction and raised $3,000, and a raffle at $5, and donations at $5, and so all of this stuff here. So this is your e-commerce total, $37,500 for the year. If you're under starter, this is what you would pay, $1,838 in platform fees to us. And if you were on foundation, you would pay, $400 ish less at the 3.9%. That should have been 3.9. So really, if you adopt CommuniBee Suite and don't use any e-commerce, the app is completely free. There is no cost to you guys at all. But if you use some e-commerce, say you just use just for membership, say it would, and you went with foundation, so you paid the $1, it would be $488 that you would pay a year to use the CommuniBee Suite. And the nice thing with the app is that all the fees can be flowed through, so you could add a surcharge onto things. And I know with EFCL they add on $5, and there's other add-ons that could happen with different parties. So adding on a surcharge is not a huge deal. People are used to paying GST. People are used to paying extra fees if they pay by credit card versus cash. So it's not a foreign option to introduce. So essentially, it's kind of a user pay kind of a system where the league isn't on the hook to pay all this money up front and then hope that people use the system. This is all basically a user pay, and so the more you use it, the more fees that you'll pay, but you're raising more funds. So there's a really good offset there. And then the fees also include all of these features that I already showed you, which some other competitors may not offer this kind of stuff for free, essentially. And then so it's basically how much e-commerce you use is basically going to drive what tier you select, and so it's your choice to move up the tiers because you do the math, and we can show you the math. That table I just showed you, that basically shows that it makes sense to go to foundation or goes to the next one. Okay, support. I already talked about support. So this is all, the link to the website. You go there under Help Center. There's all these sections with guides. The ones that are kind of highlighted actually have a specific guide built already, as well as with a video. So you'll see these kind of be filled out over time. And that's that. So next steps, if you're interested in pursuing further, think about what tier you want to go to. Think about if you want to go full website, and then you can select a template. The template I showed you will be saved as a template, so you can start with that and change the names and add your icon or your logo and all that kind of stuff. Or you can supplement your existing. So those are those two options. And then you can use the online support guides and videos provided, and you can also ask us for assistance. Just reach out to us and just say, hey, I want to get going with this. Can I get a few hours of help? We're happy to help. We're happy to spend time with you and get you going.